Let's get straight into it with this story from Friday's Guardian. And Leo, would you let this man near your hair? Sorry, Roger.
Yeah, I probably would. I mean, he might cut hair really well. It's just where the money goes. So a barber has been sentenced to 12 years in prison after sending thousands of pounds from taxpayer-funded coronavirus grants to the terrorist group Islamic State in Syria. I mean, you can really get a better example of how inept and useless government is than this. So you pay your taxes, the government spaffs it out willy-nilly to anybody who can fill in a form with false details, and then actual terrorists who we've allowed into the country then send it to their terrorist mates in Syria to kill us. It's like, why don't we just like shorten the process by burning all our money in the shower while shooting ourselves?
Organised crime benefited hugely from the bounce back loans as well, because of course, I mean, you can understand the panic involved because they didn't want people destitute when the first lockdowns came around. So they splurged out money without actually monitoring where it was going.
Yeah.
Billions have been lost to organised crime and indeed maverick terrorist sympathisers like this. It's horrendous. And this all comes back to Rishi Sunak, by the way.
Yeah.
Does it? Why?
At the time.
Yeah. Okay.
He has to take responsibility for this. And you can understand the panic at the beginning, but they should then, of course, have worked really hard to make sure that this money wasn't being simply wasted.
But there's a limit to how much monitoring can they do? I mean, how responsible can they be for what these people do with the money? I mean,
well, they could not give it out in the first place.
Well,
maybe if people
didn't require auditing,
if people who worked,
checks and balances,
and if people who worked didn't pay as much tax, then they'd have the money, and you wouldn't have to give it back to them. I mean, it seems just so obvious. Lower taxes, then you don't need to give people money back in some weird, like people. Free stuff from the government. It's like, where do you think that stuff came from?
Yeah,
it's mental.
Not the socialist side.
Also, this guy he's not just a terrorist, a funder of terrorism. He's a former pub landlord who raped an 18-year-old in his pub in Wood Green, and he committed this terrorism offence just months after he got out for that.
Right. Okay.
So yeah,
this is grim stuff.
He's probably got a Guardian column now.
Let's move